Hello, my name is Mark Patrick Lavis, and this is your Oregon News Daily Update for Thursday, April 30th. The NFL Draft starts later tonight, and many in the Eugene and Springfield area are wondering what the future has in store for former Oregon Ducks. Oregon quarterback Marcus Mariota is regarded as one of the best players in this year's draft, with many potential suitors for him to wind up with. The Tennessee Titans, with the second overall pick, have been speculated as the most likely destination for Mariota, with last year's starting quarterback Jake Locker announcing his early retirement this offseason. However, teams such as San Diego Chargers and Chip Kelly's Philadelphia Eagles have expressed interest in trading up in the draft to snag him. The latest team to seriously enter the Mariota sweepstakes is Cleveland. The club is rumored to have offered Tennessee 2 first-round picks in this year's draft in exchange for the second overall selection. Oregon teammate Eric Armstead is also expecting to hear his name called early in the draft. The defensive end is slated to go in the mid-first round and may end up heading back to Northern California, where he's from. The San Francisco 49ers could be a very likely landing spot at number 15. Armstead's teammate on the defensive side of the ball, Ifo Ekpre-Olmu, might be in for a bumpy road this weekend. While he has first-round talent, a torn ACL suffered in the lead-up to the Rose Bowl left him unable to work out for teams leading up to the draft. Though he'll likely fall out of the first round, a team could trade up into the first round if they feel the reward is greater than the risk. The Oregon player who's climbing up many boards in the past few months is Oregon defensive tackle Jake Fisher. After an impressive combine and team workouts, the offensive tackle is now slated as a late first-rounder. Oregon's former man under center Hronis Grasu looks to be finding out his new home sometime during tomorrow's second round. Grasu's draft position all depends on how in love a team is with him. A likely destination would be the Seattle Seahawks, who trade away former Oregon center Max Unger this offseason. Up in Corvallis, many Beaver fans are wondering where former quarterback Sean Mannion will end up. Projected as a backup at the next level, Mannion is highly likely to fall into Saturday's 4th round. Other Oregon players projected to be taken in the draft are linebackers Tony Washington and Derek Malone, safety Eric Dargan, and cornerback Troy Hill. Remaining Oregon State players that could be drafted include cornerback Steven Nelson and defensive end Obum Gwacham. Coming up after this break, we look away from the NFL and talk about the Portland Trail Blazers and trouble brewing over Bud Light.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Protests have been escalating in Baltimore over the death of Freddie Gray, leaving the Orioles and their downtown ballpark in a bind. After postponing games against the White Sox Monday and Tuesday, the Orioles decided to close Wednesday's game to the public and play in an empty ballpark. This was the first time fans were shut out of a regular season Major League Baseball game. The Orioles were scheduled to start a 3-game home series against the Tampa Bay Rays Friday, but those games have since been moved to Florida. The Portland Trail Blazers season has officially come to an end. The Blazers lost Game 5 last night to Memphis 99-93, giving the Grizzlies a 4-1 series victory. The Blazers were able to avoid a sweep by winning Game 4 at home Monday, but a return to Memphis proved to be too much of a hurdle for Portland to overcome. Portland guard CJ McCollum stepped up big in the Blazers season finale. He led the team with 33 points in the game, which was both a career high for McCollum and the most points scored by a player coming off the bench for Portland in a playoff game in franchise history. Memphis was without point guard Mike Conley once again, but center Marc Gasol and guard Courtney Lee filled in the gap, with former Seattle Supersonic Jeff Green hitting some crucial shots off the bench in the 4th quarter. Memphis will now move on to face Steph Curry and the number 1 seeded Golden State Warriors, with the first game scheduled for this Sunday. Bud Light has come under fire recently over a new campaign slogan. The new slogan appearing on bottles of Bud Light read, "The perfect beer for removing no from your vocabulary for the night, #up for whatever." Many individuals took to social media immediately pointing out the issues such as drunk driving and sexual assault, where the role of alcohol and the absence of the word no are closely intertwined. Following this outrage, Bud Light has since pulled the slogan from their Up for Whatever campaign. The slogan is one of 140 messages printed on bottles as part of the campaign. Now for your look at weather across the state of Oregon. Those sunny days have been brought back to Eugene and they look to be sticking around. In Eugene, you'll be seeing a high of 71 degrees and a low of 44 later tonight. Up in Portland, expect the same high of 71 degrees today, though expect some cloud coverage throughout the day. Later in the night, you'll be seeing a low of 47. East of the Cascades and Bend, that sun continues to shine bright like a diamond with a high of 70 and a low of 37 tonight. Lastly, if you want to crank up that heat, then look no further than Medford, where we'll see a high of 80 today and a low of 45. That'll do it for today's Oregon News Update. For all of us here at Oregon News, I'm Mark Patrick Lavis. You stay classy, Eugene.